Welcome to Cat the Minion YouTube channel. My name is Teresa, but you can call me Cat. This is a reading for Capricorn, and we're looking at mid-April 2022. It's just a time anchor though. It's whenever you find this is when it's the right time. So Capricorn, we've got Saturn, planet Saturn, and we've got Earth element. So Pluto is in Capricorn and it's going retrograde on the 29th, so that might be something to look at. The moon is in Capricorn on the 21st and 22nd. I think that's kind of it. Saturn is in Aquarius. So Capricorn might be a little drifty, lost in your thoughts for a little bit there. So I've got my Twin Flame Pinnacle deck here, and don't worry if you're not feeling the Twin Flame situation. It just means that one half of the deck is labeled masculine and the other one's labeled feminine. And I may or may not adhere to that, but this just happens to be one of the decks that was calling to me to use for these, and then it just happened to be the one that popped out for Capricorn. So I did clear and shuffle these. I'm just going to get it a little bit more. It's a little bit hard to shuffle because it's only like 40-something cards, but that's alright. We'll make do. So the Ace of Wands. Hands are getting wrecked from all the shuffling today. This is my phrase deck, and I'm going to get a card from this as a topic for the reading. I'm only going to get a few cards from here. The meat and potatoes of the reading is going to come from one of my chapbook packs here. Let's see which one. I want this one. Teal. Teal color. Oh, it's showing up without as much green in it on the camera. That's weird. Oh, just giving myself a headache too. So I'm gonna get one of these. Oh, I guess I'll take this blue one that's kind of trying to come out. And I'm gonna get a few of these. Okay, I guess these are... Oh, this one's trying to shift. These are in the challenge position, and I'm going to leave them there. In the challenge position, if I could talk. So the chapbook packs are available on my Etsy shop. They're about the price of a greeting card. Sort of on the cheap end of a greeting card these days. And I'll open that in a minute. And I'm going to be talking about that more at the end of the video. So this is to get started, this is the meat of the reading, and this is our subject. I'm not sure what you're getting at. Example, math is hard? Question mark. Oh, that's so weird. I just realized that I have... Oh, never mind. I finished the parentheses. I was like, what the hell's going on there? My handwriting is so crap-ass. Number 177. Interesting. I'm not quite sure what you're getting at. I'm going to get another card just to have, because that's not a great way to start a reading. Sometimes you need a paragraph with these things instead of just one sentence. I guess I'm taking this other blue one. Having it easy is not a blessing. Lack of opportunity for maturity. Okay, so this is sort of obscure. Got to pay your dues if you want to sing the blues, and you know it don't come easy. Alright. Hare Krishna, you know it don't come easy. Okay, so we have the Ten of Swords in the challenge position with feminine energy attached to it. That's the sun in Gemini. I tried to say Scorpio, but that was wrong. Sun in Gemini. Backstabby energy. Needles and pins. Nine of Pentacles with masculine energy in the challenge position. This is all the single ladies, usually, but it's also, you know, my ends are meeting. Things are growing. This mentions maturity. Nine of Pentacles is Virgo energy. Mercury and, wait, Venus and Virgo. There we go. A lot of the time I'll say that Virgo is like the inner child in comparison with Venus, the Empress. But it's also part of the Mother, Maiden, Crone trilogy. Whereas we're looking at the Maiden. Virgo is ruled by Mercury. And then we have the King of Swords inverted related to masculine energy. This is like my way or the highway, dictatorial, you know, I'll cut your nads off if you cross me kind of energy. This is a little bit weird. I see 19 here. It's making me think... It's actually, well, if this is a 1 instead of a 14, this is Judgment. What would Judgment call? Let's see what's in here, though. I'm not quite sure what it's getting at. Okay. Alright, so we've got energy forms. This is one of my coloring books. This is about connection here, trying to see what you're saying on an intuitive level, because the conversation is going like crap. Alright, so here we have some Lotus Dragon Acid Quad phone cases, which is from my other coloring book, Draco Forms, this version of it, replicated after I colored one in, but this is the idea of double coloring book. Like I'm making up what's in my world as I go, which is fine because everybody manifests. There's two people here, there's two phones here. It's like the conversation needs to go both ways. This king here is a little bit like trying to win a conversation as opposed to winning an argument. Okay. We have a horned hat. What was that country? I can't remember the country. No, why can't I remember that? It was for a mythological thing. It was a particular country in Africa. And they had those little, you know, those like little shells that those like beachy, like surfer dudes wear around their neck. They're like in a hat. And then there's like their antelope antlers. And like all kinds of shells and shit on the side. This is, I mean, crown activation here. A lot of these readings have crown activation, which is weird because there's a lot of Piscean energy still this month. The deep blue sea. Somehow creating crown activation. What's this? This is... Oh, I think I know what this is. Okay. Somewhat like geometric notes here. So I have a cube, and then I have this shape. It's like a waveform that's forming a depression with another wave pinching up in the middle. This is just a cross section. This is like it looks like one of the graphs that my friend had on his presentation when he was defending his thesis. And I don't remember what it was for. But it's like a waveform inside of another waveform. Like a, what's it called? Like when the recursion, it's like a recursion a little bit. Oh, I love this drawing. This is some sort of parrot situation here. This is a little bit like, it's like I'm repeating what you're saying. I'm just gonna keep the same thing rolling through there, like somebody hitting a dartboard in the bullseye with a dart, and then the next dart goes through that one, and then the next dart goes through that one. It's like those cartoons of people falling and they keep hitting branches for like an hour until it's funny. This is like I'm parroting it back to you, what you're saying. And it can be dangerous if you keep repeating the same thing back to each other, because then you're not making progress. It's like, well, what are you getting at? Also, this math is hard subtext here that it can or cannot be relevant. We're dealing with upper level mathematics here when we're making these three-dimensional parabolic flippity shapes. I don't even know what I'm getting at with this reading. And this is for me because I have a Capricorn stellium. So this drawing here is called True North. So now we have some kind of navigational aspect here. Like I'm not quite sure where I'm going. I need to get my compass out and recalibrate. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to read this one. It's called Not to Utter. On the other side of a barrier, drifting like a reflection, made out of mist, clouds of vapor. No vocal cords exist here. I would mouth to you words, but there is no mouth with which to speak. I have no thought, there is no mind. I see you, but I cannot express. No anger, no orbit, no forced division. Would that I could speak to you if I had something to say. To me, this is looking like being caught in a loop trying to communicate something with somebody where, you know, maybe somebody's being intentionally obtuse. They're like, what do you mean? Every time you like lay out some huge explanation. Or they're like, well, I don't want to hear that, so you can fuck off. And, you know, it's like I'm waiting by my phone for you to talk to me. I'm like, you know, get jacked up every time I think about it. But it's like in order to have this real person-to-person communication, we need to like open up the antennas, like and stop parroting the same shit back and forth. We need to expand the energy into a different shape. It's like wanting to say something to somebody and having the opportunity to have a conversation is not really the same thing. And, you know, it's like, okay, this situation has like sucked ass in the not fun way, so like what's the point of it if you know, whoever's in the masculine energy and whoever's in the feminine energy in the situation are at like loggerheads with each other. You know, it's like, well, what's the point of it? Well, if it was so easy, you'd have no emotional growth. But at a certain point, it's like, okay, let's stop sending each other notes through someone else that says check yes or check no, and then not having any kind of explanation of what's really going on there. The Ten of Swords is turning. So we're seeing that it's like, I'm no longer going to be taking all the pain in this, whatever this relationship is. And this person is like, well, I'm not going to gain any more growth on my own. And it's this sort of final judgment, the final chapter, the final exam on having, it's sort of like the underlying unsaid thing is sort of, it's been two kings in the castle, and what you really need is to have somebody actually take on the feminine energy so that there's a polarity balance, instead of fighting over who. This is what it reminds me of, these flatworms who, when they reproduce, they have a penis sword fight and the loser has to be the mother. That's kind of what's going on here. It's like too many players on the field, too many chefs in the kitchen, too many cooks in the kitchen. And it's like you need to actually have a communication where there's like a reciprocal pattern of actual communication. And it's like, you know, maybe a conversation is wanted, but it's like when do I jump in? I'm trying to calculate what I should say when I should say it. I'm like over guessing. I'm second guessing myself. I really want to talk, but it's like, if I speak, like, is it going to be worth it? You know, it's like economy of energy. Like, I can only say something if it's going to create movement and growth. You know, it's like I can't keep trudging uphill in the snow both ways if somebody's not even gonna respond. You know, I've got to get this signal out there. I've got to get a message to you. Well, BJ's there, okay? So I'm going to leave it there because I'm running out of time and I don't want to keep going on this. I think that's enough for Capricorn to get started. Alright, if you want to get a personal reading with complete information, the list is going to be down below in the description box, or you can... I still don't think that's fully in focus. The PDF you can download on my WordPress, or I can email you the PDF. I've got card of the day on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter in picture format. If you want to get a chapbook pack, they're on Etsy. It's 3*17 for a coupon code. You get 17% off a purchase of 3 or more items. If you found this useful or helpful or interesting in some way, consider energy exchange, donation, tip jar. It's PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. All of this other stuff, coloring books, poetry, prints, and merch, is through my Linktree, linktr.ee/cattheminion. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, check out my playlists tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.